I was at a point in life where the only money that I had was my health insurance that I had through my parents. That was all I had. And I would get so down bad on dope and money and life that I wouldn't have any other option that made sense in my mind but to go to a detox that my insurance paid for and go get free food, go get a bed to sleep in, go get my mind right, go get some detox meds so I'm still getting well in there. And then I would come out after like 5 days and get my bearings and get my grips and talk to my people outside off the phone in there and figure out my plan on what I'm going to do. And I'd get out and I'd go on a whole nother run. It took years and years of me being by myself, getting sober, doing the right thing, just doing one right thing after another, slip-ups here and there, but changing my whole entire lifestyle of living, like going back to my parents' house, being sober, getting a job, working hard, maybe have a slip here or there, but not just be completely involved in doing dope and getting money and doing dope and hustling and doing dope. I just got out of that whole entire routine. Like, it would be like a slip up where like, oh, I got paid and I would go and slip up, but I wasn't like jeopardizing where I lived. I was still paying my bills. I still had vision and focus and determination to beat this thing and get through it. This is just like an insight to show you, like, I went from that place 5 years ago to having a wife, being involved in my daughter's life. Me and my wife have a child on the way. Renting a house. It's the first house I've ever rented. I've got multiple different vehicles. They're not brand new or anything, although I do pay for a new car, but it's not mine. But just being able to actually have responsibilities and take care of things and be the man I'm supposed to be, it took me, honestly, I would say there was about 3 years where it was like the first 2 I was struggling, falling, getting back up, but not fully dove into that whole entire lifestyle. It took me 2 years of ups and downs to get to a point where for 3 years in a row, leading into now, I've just been grinding and going extremely hard and having points where it's just non-stop work. Like, I'm just making up for lost time, and then having points where I'll get a break and take advantage of the break and be around with my family and enjoy that time, do everything I can with my daughter, spend that time with my wife, and then go right back to grind mode, non-stop, working hard. I've been working really hard to try and find a balance with everything that I'm doing, and that's been a difficult challenge for me. I've always had a hard time with finding balance. It's like I'm all or nothing, all or nothing. It's really hard for me to find an in-between, but I'm just sharing this because I'm trying to give you guys hope and insight on what this journey might look like for you, because this is what it was for me. This is just a small glimpse into this, 10-year, I'm 28. I started going down that wrong path pretty harder and harder once I was like 15, just diving in and deeper. By the time I'm 19, I'm fully fucked up, I'm fully fried, I'm doing opiates, I've done pretty much everything. It's a long journey, and I preach it and I say it all the time, but working out was something that kept me on course, and it gave me something to look forward to, and it was progression, and it's a really good analogy and depiction of what your life's going to look like. You can't work out for 3 days in a row and be 20 pounds heavier and 10% body fat leaner. It doesn't work that way. And I think with the drug abuse, it's all about instant gratification. And when you look at something like working out, it's a long-term gratification, that it's something you have to maintain. It's a lot like sobriety. There's a long-term gratification, and you have to maintain it. I just hope you guys keep your head up and keep trying and keep fighting. If you fall, get back up. I know a lot of people that fell and never got back up with this. A lot. A lot of people I got close with, a lot of people I cared about, a lot of people I crossed paths with. You know, it's something like, in my opinion, it's like if you do this for more than 10 years and you're a full-blown addict and you make it 10 years, the odds of you actually quitting this are less than 1%. I don't say that to discourage you. I say that because you need to be the 1%. I look at myself like I am the 1%. I made it out. And I'm not saying I'm scotch-free. I'm not saying I don't have scars and cuts and bruises and wounds that might never heal that I gotta live with. But I'm not doing dope every day. I'm not fucking my family off. I'm not just constantly hurting people. I made it to the other side where I'm able to build up my life the right way. And once you make it through the transition period and get to the other side, you'll feel the gratification, just like getting high was the only good thing in life. You'll feel the gratification of, I was able to get my daughter everything she wanted for Christmas. I was able to keep paying the bills every month. I was able to show up to work. I've had this job for a few years. It's just like the gratification from things like that, it outweighs by so much the gratification you get from getting high. And it's a beautiful thing once you get to this other side. And the harsh reality is, us addicts, not a lot of us are gonna make it. If you've been doing it for 5 or 10 or more years, it's like, it's gotta be over 90% of people, they fall to this. It eats them alive. And the drug wasn't necessarily the problem, it was a solution to a problem they were already dealing with. So whatever that problem is, you gotta face it. Drugs were a temporary fix, and you gotta fix the problem. That is the reason why you're using. Face it head on, find ways to cope. There's a lot of things you can do aside from drugs to cope. Start with working out. Get a job, start working some 12-hour shifts. But alright, y'all, peace and love, stay strong.